When Memento hit theaters in 2000, audiences were still getting to know Christopher Nolan. His debut film, following 1998, had shown promise, but Memento cemented him as a filmmaker unafraid to take risks with structure, perspective, and audience expectations. Now, 25 years later, it's still one of the most daring psychological thrillers ever made, and surprisingly, the concept didn't originate with Nolan himself.
The film that bent time backwards.
In the late 90s and early 2000s, a wave of young filmmakers began breaking away from traditional linear storytelling. Quentin Tarantino experimented with chronology in Pulp Fiction. Nolan took the concept even further with Memento. Told largely in reverse, the film mirrors the disoriented mind of its protagonist, Leonard Shelby, Guy Pearce, who suffers from anterograde amnesia, an inability to form new memories. Leonard's quest to find his wife's killer unfolds in two parallel narratives, a color sequence moving backward in time and a black and white sequence moving forward. When the two timelines meet, the result is as shocking as it is heartbreaking, revealing that Leonard had already killed his wife's murderer long before the film began and has been trapped in a self-perpetuating cycle of vengeance. A story born from Jonathan Nolan's mind. The seed of Memento was planted not by Christopher, but by his younger brother Jonathan Nolan. While studying psychology at Georgetown University, Jonathan conceived a short story called Memento Mori about a man named Earl who suffers from the same type of memory loss as Leonard. Jonathan's version unfolded in two timelines, one in a mental institution, the other chronicling Earl's escape, and shared many thematic beats with the eventual film. After pitching the idea to his brother, Jonathan wrote the short story, then handed Christopher the creative reins to adapt it into a screenplay. Christopher preserved the core premise, but restructured it into the intricate, reverse-engineered puzzle that became Memento. Jonathan's Memento Mori was later published in Esquire in 2001, after the film's success. The Nolan brothers, a creative partnership. The Nolans would go on to collaborate on several projects, including The Prestige, The Dark Knight trilogy, and Interstellar. Jonathan's flair for high-concept ideas and Christopher's meticulous eye for execution have made them one of modern cinema's most interesting creative duos. Even so, Memento remains perhaps their purest fusion of concept and craft. Other Nolan mindbenders. While Nolan is often associated with science fiction due to Inception and Interstellar, most of his career has leaned toward crime thrillers. Still, Memento paved the way for his other narrative experiments: The Victorian Magician Rivalry of The Prestige, 2006, The Dream Within a Dream Labyrinth of Inception, 2010, and the time-inverting espionage of Tenet, 2020. Each plays with time, structure, and perception, but none quite match the raw, intimate punch of Memento. A legacy that still twists the mind. 2.5 decades later, Memento is still studied in film schools, debated by fans, and admired for its audacity. Beyond its structural innovation, it's a deeply human story about grief, self-deception, and the fragile nature of memory. Whether you see it as a puzzle box or a tragedy in disguise, Memento remains the moment Christopher Nolan first proved he could bend the rules of cinema and leave audiences reeling.